Hi everybody, welcome to HobTech Cars. Today I'm going to be working on my Toyota MR2 SW20 MK2 and I'm going to be detarring the car and then I'm going to do a clay bar of the car. So I am going to do a little bit of a tutorial for you guys. So this is the car as it stands today. The paintwork on this car is really good. It's not the original colour. The car was resprayed about 15-20 years ago by a previous owner. And since I've owned it, I've never done any major detarring or clay barring of the car. The eventual end result here is that I will want to compound the car as well, and that'll be a whole other video. But for the purposes of today, I just want to give this car a detarring, good wash, and then clay bar it. So that'll be the content of the video today. So starting off, you can see the car is a little bit dusty. Typically, as with most cars, the worst of the tar spots are down low on the bottom half of the car. Usually check around the rear wheel arches and kind of the side skirts area into the intakes as well on the Toyota MR2. The cleaning product that I'm using for the detarring today is this Holt's tar and general spot remover. It's a great product, it's nice and cheap, and it really does the business. I've used it on all of my cars over the years and it's always done the job perfectly. With your detarring spray, you just want to apply that liberally to areas that have tar spots on the paintwork. As I mentioned, these are typically down low. Once it's applied, leave it to settle for about 5 minutes before coming back and rubbing it off with a cloth. The best cloth to use here, as with most jobs on a car, would be a microfiber cloth. As I mentioned earlier, one of the key spots to watch out for on the MR2 MK2 is these air vents. Here is an example of me cleaning the air vents after I've left the detarring agent to settle for about 5 minutes. You shouldn't have to scrub very hard, it all should come off with mostly light rubbing. Thankfully, you get to watch a full speed video of me detarring the entire car, so enjoy this little montage. So this is how the car looks when the detarring is complete. I haven't detarred this car in about 10 years of ownership. The car gets very little driving, it's kept indoors most of the time. So I'm glad I got a chance to do this. Okay, so after you have finished detarring the car, you want to wash it. And that's what I've done here, and just remove all of that residue, that kind of oily stuff that's left behind from the detarring agent. Now you are ready to get stuck into your clay barring. So the clay bar kit that I'm using today is the Meguiar's Quick Clay. I've used it on 3 or 4 cars in the past. It's quite expensive compared to other brands, but it's kind of considered the best clay brand out there. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend any other clay brand. So typically a clay bar kit will come with like some sort of wetting agent or moisturing agent like this guy here, and it'll come with a good few pieces of clay for claying the car. This piece here is a bit dirty, it's a used piece, it's just for an example today. You don't need a special liquid like this for clay barring. It just came with the set, so I like using it, but you can just use water and a little bit of washing up liquid, fairy liquid, stuff like that. So before getting started, you just want to warm the clay in your setup. So I'm rubbing it here between my fingers, kind of rolling it over, back and forth, back and forth. Right, so some of you might be asking, why clay bar a car? Essentially what a clay bar does is it removes contaminants from the surface of the paint that have been left there over years of, weather, environmental factors, pollution, things like that, tree sap, etc, etc. Generally speaking, you may not notice
maybe you might notice a small difference in the aesthetics of the car once you've claybarred it, but really it's down to the texture, the paint and the lacquer. You'll really feel it. It's a sensation that you feel. If you rub your hand over a panel that has been claybarred, it's a lovely silky smooth type of texture, like a brand new car out of the showroom. As if you've another panel, say, that you haven't claybarred, it feels slightly rough. My hand kind of grips as I go across it. As, for example, panel that's claybarred, my hand will really just glide across. It's a lovely glossy type feel. Okay, so this is the first panel here that I'm going to claybar. I'm going to go all the way to the spoiler, back to the rear lights kind of here. I'm going to draw an imaginary line in my head here over the wheel arch. So the first thing that I want to do is get my lubrication and spray that onto the panel. It's already a bit wet from me washing it, so I don't need too much. Why am I doing this? If you clay bar a dry car, you're going to just get your clay and you're going to drag all those contaminants across the layer of the lacquer, and you're actually just going to damage the paint. So when it's wet like this, you can see my finger, you know, it's nice and smooth to the touch. Ideal for some claying. So just very lightly, I'm putting no pressure on that now at all. I'm letting the clay do all the work. And I think, look, it depends on what your school of thought is, but I always thought it was good to do side by side, flip the clay, and then just kind of go like that, diagonally, up, down. Something tells me that you're not meant to do circles like this. I think the idea is that if you did pick up a piece of contaminant and it was stuck in the clay, you're just dragging it around in circles on the paint and you're going to get a little swirl mark. So just, you know what, it's a hard topic to talk through. It's more something that you go by the feel. You kind of know you're just gliding it across the paint. And I'm going to lift this clay in a moment and you're actually going to see some of the contaminants that I've picked up, because I write to you guys looking in YouTube land, this is already a very clean car. Look, like, I mean, there's no dirt on it. It's perfect, very, very clean. Now, let's have a look here. Look at that. That was a brand new clay that I began with. You can see some discoloration, some dirt, particularly that bottom right corner there. Look at that kind of dirty water type effect. That's all crap and crud that we've taken out of the top layer of the paint. So this is working. I'm jealous that you guys are going to get to watch an accelerated video of me doing the whole car now. So enjoy. Okay, so I have clay barred half the car now, essentially. I've done all of this wing, the spoiler and the roof. Just look at how dirty the clay is. Look at that. I mean, that's probably as bad as I've seen for a car that's kept indoors all year round. There's probably 30 years worth of contaminants on the surface of her, so let's just keep going. Okay, so that's it. The entire car has been clay barred. Apologies, I don't have footage of the whole process, but my phone decided to go onto the Ritz. So the paintwork now, super smooth. God, it's like silk. I can run my hand across there now. Really good.
So as you can see, the car looks amazing. It looks really, really good, particularly in this fluorescent nighttime lighting in the shed. It was definitely a task worth doing, and I'm glad that I could share my work with you today. I'm excited for the next step with this car, which will be to fully compound it, which has never been done on this paintwork, and I'm excited for how much it will brighten up the paintwork to have it to, I guess, factory standard, showroom standard. I will do a video on that, and I'll be excited to share it with you. So thanks again for watching. I really enjoyed making this one, particularly because the end result was so nice. So take care. If you liked the video, please do like, comment, subscribe. And thanks again for watching HobTech Cars.